Greetings, members. Welcome to another Healing Wednesday. I'm Lee Carroll.
And I'm Monica Morani.
I want to thank all the subscribers. This particular show is for you. This is not a free one, so you're in the right place at the right time. So every time we begin, I tell a little story because we are receiving a lot of new members all the time. And this may be the first time you've heard it. Mm-hmm. And the old story that's not new to most is this. Streaming is such a strange animal. We've been doing this long enough to know now that it's like a running stream, a real stream with water. Sometimes it's running fast, sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's non-existent, sometimes it dries up. All this to say that this is live streamed. If you're having trouble with this particular broadcast, if it's starting or stopping, the sound isn't right or whatever, please don't be frustrated. I want you to know that this particular program, we record it as we go, and within an hour and a half after the show is done, you get the replay. And the replay is much easier to see than a live stream. Live stream takes a lot more power. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to know where that replay is, you're a member, it'll be in your portal, and you can go there and find out what the link is to the replay. So really, truly, I just want to say, don't be frustrated, please. This is not why we're doing this. The live stream is great, but the recording will be perfect. I'd like to say that we are asking for a call to healers, and this is fairly new. We've only been doing this in the last few programs. Based upon what we've seen and with the appreciation you have for all of the great guests we have, if you're a healer or a certified practitioner or a medical doctor or a nurse, and you have perspective on alternate healing methods, we're looking for you. You can apply to be a speaker on Healing Wednesdays, and we'll see if you're a good fit for our system to be a guest on the program. It helps if you have a following, if you have a website, of course, and a way for people to find out what you have so that they can participate in your knowledge and the modality that you're giving. We'll drop that application link to be on our program in the chat box, and it's really easy. Just fill it out. And again, if it's a good fit and it's a form, on the form that you fill out and it's a good fit for our program, we will contact you. Also, please feel free to forward this form and the link to the form onto any healers you might know so that we can have even more guests on the program. We're receiving a lot of wonderful, I would say, feedback on most of our guests.
Yes, it's great. And just to clarify, if you're watching the replay, you won't see a chat box. So you'll need to go to the cryonmasters.com site and you'll have to hunt for it, but it's there.
It's there.
And send us an application.
Kryon.com is there too, and the frequently asked questions of where's the healing form, you'll find it there. We are just overwhelmed by the reception of some of our people. We're receiving so many comments that you've never seen these modalities before, you had no idea they were there. So popular are some of these people that we brought to you that we've asked them back. So you'll start seeing in 2021 a repeat of some of your most favorite ones.
Yeah, and even before the end of this year.
Oh, yeah. So we kind of know who's coming, but you can't. We'll tell you on the websites in Kryon Masters and Kryon.com. We'll give you an idea because we'll give you the next one, perhaps even 2 in advance. Yeah. But past that, we kind of keep it a secret.
Yeah, and I just love this program that we are bringing to you some of the most amazing healers that are on the planet. And I want to say, Lee, I think the teachers are very important for education, and I think the healers. So I think those two fields are our real unsung heroes.
You know what else we have?
What's that?
We have people who are intuitives. We have some psychics. We have these in this whole field coming up. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
All right. This is a time where we like to do a little bit of, I would say, talking amongst ourselves, tell you some of the things that have happened to us, and perhaps something a little different this time. There's something happening on the members. And
there is, and part of it is in response to so many members are watching this from all over the globe, and we're all in different time zones. So what we have done is set up a Facebook group. Many of you are already on that Facebook group. It's called Kryon, Circle of 12. It is a closed group. We have a wonderful girl who will look at your request to join the group, and once you're in there, you can connect with the beautiful global family that's joining us on these meetings. And it's a great place to share your experiences. And no one else can understand what you're going through than those who are going through it with you. And so if you feel that there's something you want to get insight on, the best place, not necessarily sending it to us, is to share it with other people who may be having the exact same experience that you are having. So we encourage you to get onto Facebook and join that group.
There's also this, is that some of them are having common experiences, and we'll talk about that in future programs. There's actually, I'd like to talk about one of those things in just a moment.
Yes.
But first, we had an interesting experience in 2017, and we want to tell you about it. To me, I'll always remember it.
More than interesting, it was profound.
Profound, interesting, and funny. We got to meet, I would say, one of the most famous people on the planet, and he's also one of the greatest people on the planet. In 2017, we were privileged to be able to go and meet the Dalai Lama.
His Holiness.
His Holiness.
His Holiness, the Dalai Lama.
And it was arranged for our group and ourselves. We had about, 40 people or so with us, maybe more. And so it was a time where we could go, and this was at his own enclave. This is home, actually.
Yes, he lives in Dharamshala, which is in India, of course. That's when they fled from Tibet, and he's made that his home. And we were so privileged to be invited to go up through. Our request was accepted.
Yes.
And actually, he was due to travel to Japan, and his health didn't allow him to go. So through synchronicity, and this shows you how much compassion this gentleman has. He was too unwell to go to Japan, but yet he said yes to receive our group.
This is who he is.
So there we are. And Dharamshala is pretty high altitude, and where the residence is up a lot of stairs.
So we're all there, and we've all been vetted, and we've all waited. And I think it was about 2 hours or so. They've pretty well check us out just to make sure that, we're fine and all. We understood that we're ready for that. Then they herded us all to actually I think it was the front door of his house.
We were all in single file down the stairs so that as His Holiness would come up, he could greet us one by one coming up the stairs.
So we were anticipating it, waiting, and finally we see them. We see the orange robe. We see his those with him who are always part of his entourage. And they're slowly coming up the stairs, and we see him. It's very exciting, because we waited a long time to see this great man. And we weren't disappointed, by the way, and that's coming. So up he comes, and there are various landings at the various stages after so many stairs. And he's almost to the top, and there's this final landing, I think separated by maybe 40 or 50 steps, and he stops. And there, the entourage stops, and he looks at us intensely. He's looking at us. We're looking at him. There's this awkward silence because at that point I'm saying, have we missed something? I mean, should we have? Is there something I was probably supposed to say and I forgot? Yes. Because there's protocol when you meet. It's like president. You're supposed to do something.
Also waiting. Maybe he's got something profound that he's going to
say to us
with us,
right?
Because he's standing there and we're all in awe and almost like, oh. What's he going to say? And he has this marvelous smile and this grin that he always has on his face. And finally, he opens his mouth and says to all of us, he says, "Hey, I'm 83. What do you expect?" He was just resting. And of course, we all laughed. This is who he is. Absolutely.
As a man of humor, of joy. So he came up the stairs and we met him. Here's a picture that I wanted to show you that we're together. This is also, Marco was with us there, our tour guide, and Monica and myself. And it's the highlight, I think, of our life. He went on to talk to us. We were having, I think, fires at that time in California again, or in the States anyway. He was aware of it because he watches the news all the time. He knew where we were from. He wanted to say something about the various places that our people met him, said they were from. Very, very knowledgeable man.
Absolutely.
And he cared. You can tell it wasn't just another, hey, I'll meet these people and move on, as he's done probably thousands and thousands of times.
Yeah.
And we came away from the meeting feeling very elated and very serviced, I would say, to the max with our hearts.
When you meet someone like that, you just want to hang out with them and spend the rest of your time with them.
Yeah.
Because they just exude compassion and understanding and joyful.
Many of you have made a comment. Now I'm talking to the members.
Yeah.
We're seeing it everywhere, quite a bit. And they're saying, on the Circle of 12 meditation, I'm fine until we get to the mist. And then as soon as Kryon starts to take us through the mist, I go to sleep. Now, this is important information.
And I want to premise this first by those who have followed Kryon for a long time, because there's been many question and answers with Kryon about falling asleep during a channel. And Kryon addressed that several times, and Lee will probably add to what I'm saying, but Kryon mentioned that when you fall asleep during the channel, often you're actually not falling asleep, but you're in a state where your consciousness steps aside and you're receiving all the information through a subconscious communication. However, this is different. So, Lee, what is the difference now between falling asleep during Kryon channels and this Circle of 12 experience?
Those of you know who have been with Kryon for some time that this experience is really, really different. In fact, Kryon even greets you differently in that meditation. It is a channeled meditation, but it's not a channel per se where Kryon is giving new information, because it's very much the same every time, perhaps with a different slant, as he walks you through something profound, moving into another dimension. It's not channeling as we've had before. It's not things that you are going to absorb while you're asleep. It's important that you stay awake. Now, for those of you who go to sleep on a regular basis, there are some interesting things, and Kryon has given me some information, and also one of the things I'll tell you now is that when we get to the mist today, Kryon is going to give you a little help to get through it. But in general, we want you to stay awake. And so I'm going to give just a couple of indications of what I would do and some helps for this. Number one, we want you to stay awake. And it's important because staying awake during this time and being active in the meditation is critical to the healing process. You can't sleep through this one. Many do, and there are reasons. One of the reasons is that it's a meditation. Another reason is some of you have just eaten dinner. That's the other reason. So what we're going to suggest, number one, is to don't get crazy because you fall asleep and blame yourself. I would love to see you go to the replay when you wish to, not necessarily right away, before you've eaten. All right, that's the other thing. Because when you eat, it takes energy to digest, and we go to sleep when we eat. We all know that. So please don't eat a meal. Go to that place. Wind to the place where we're going to the circle of 12. When I say wind to it on the replay, you can fast forward to it. And then right before you do, give intent to stay awake and give it another shot. And that is, I think, going to help a lot, because we're dealing with a lot of you who are relaxing. You have a little meal beforehand, and it's easy to fall asleep.
I really think this is Kryon giving us training.
Yes.
The training is for us to be in two places at once. The multidimensional aspect of our soul, which is where Kryon wants to take us into, and our 3D present here and now. So I really think if you can stay the course, do these replays during the day and have it so that you are actively participating. Sometimes it's great if you go asleep, don't worry about it, and don't beat yourself up that you've fallen asleep. That is not our communication to you today. But Kryon really wants us to be awake, cognizing the experience, and it's training for us to be both multidimensional, because I think, Lee, in one of the channels, Kryon talked about just because you're in 3D and you go to another, it doesn't mean you're no longer in 3D.
That's
it
right.
just becomes bigger.
Bigger.
It becomes bigger and more enhanced.
Also, let me just tell you, you are members, and so you have a member portal. You have a replay that is available all the time, and
Yes.
always will be. And this is, in fact, all of the programs. The more we do, the more you'll have to be available. So you have multiple times to go through this
Yes.
if it's important to you
Yeah.
and you want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we've probably gone over our time for chatting.
Let's
so
go to channel.
let's move into a meditation and a channel from Kryon. So I invite you to take a deep, nourishing breath, breathing in through your nose and slowly exhaling through your mouth. And I want you to take another couple of breaths to establish this slow, gentle rhythm of effortlessly breathing. Because receiving message from the channel and being in a meditation should be easy and effortless. There is nothing to do. You simply need to relax, allow yourself to enter the natural state of your being, which is peace, harmony, balance, and joy. That is our natural state of being. And from this place where we now have a beautiful, rhythmic, slow, relaxing, deep breath going in and out, we are now more receptive to receiving the beautiful, loving messages from Kryon.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. I am so aware, as Kryon, on my side of the veil, of who is here, of who has chosen to listen to these particular messages that focus more on healing than any messages we've ever given. There have been some that would say, why Kryon now? Why is it so important that the focus has moved a little bit from that which you've been teaching in the past to something so specific, which we would then label to you as a healing time? The healing word means so much. There are so many things that you can improve, and we call that healing. Why now? What is the difference? And we will tell you this, that the ones who listen to this particular message in this particular fashion, that's you right now, you're special. And what I mean by special is that you're an old soul. You're special because you have gone through so much, so many lives, in order to get to this place in this year, with what's going on this planet right now. You won't find many listening to this who are not old souls. That's a double negative, I know. Old souls are the ones who are interested in this information. And the healing and the reason we focus on this is because we need you. We collectively, all of those on the other side of the veil, you might even say the angels, are looking to you to live longer, to be joyful, to understand things perhaps you've never understood before, the power that you have inside to control your own reality, to work with your own cellular structure, to to do the things that perhaps you've never been told you could do. This is why we need you to stay. It doesn't make sense, dear ones, that you will follow that which perhaps you've been told and you'll live a short lifetime or have a disease that will have you pass sooner than you should, or the should being that you need to. We need you here. The focus is on healing, not only
Welcome, everyone, to Healing Wednesdays and the Circle of 12. I'm Lee Carroll.
And I'm Monica Morani.
Happy April 5. Did you know? I think you did. We're here every single Wednesday evening of the year. We have special guests, questions and answers. There's discussions. Sometimes there's even weird stuff. I count on weird stuff. Meditations and, of course, channeling from Kryon. YouTube subscribers, welcome. This is our once-a-month free program. Also, welcome to all of you who are joining us for the first time or perhaps many times.
And of course, it goes without saying, a special welcome to the members of the Circle of 12 who receive one of these programs every week of the year. And if you're a member, this is program 125. Now, some of you have been a member since the very first episode, and some of you have never ever missed a single broadcast. If that is you, deep hugs and love from me. How amazing, how beautiful, and we're so humbled by that. If you're not a member, but you'd like to experience a brand new program every week, well, instead of once a month, you can do that with a subscription from cryonmasters.com. And when you sign up for that membership, not only do you get the current programs every single week, but you get over 100 fully indexed past programs and lots of extra stuff as well.
And for those of you who are not members, we're still going to give our once-a-month free program on YouTube. You can always tune in and see that. Our YouTube library growing all the time because this program is presented, of course, every month. This is episode number 31. So you'll have loads more programs to experience as well. And if you haven't already done so, I'd love you to click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel so you can be informed of these free, no ad experiences right here.
Okay, I have some exciting news. Well, it's exciting for me at least. So you can decide whether it's going to be exciting for you or not. But Lee and I are busy behind the scenes and we're creating yet another
online course to add to our Chrysalis Academy. And it's going to be coming out later this year, in this beautiful year of 2023. This new course, it's based on my Manifesting Your Mastery card deck, which is all about affirmations. We believe in the power of affirmations, which is why we would love to begin each Healing Wednesday program with an affirmation. We're going to have an affirmation of the month. And this affirmation that we will give each week at the beginning of the program, we will say it every week for a month, and then we'll give you a new affirmation. And so what we'd like to do is invite you to join us in saying the affirmation and claim it as your own. You will see the affirmation on your screen so that you can read along with us. And we're going to repeat it 3 times. Okay, are you ready? So let's take some deep breaths before we begin and bring ourselves into our center, into our core. And I invite you to say this along with me. Dear Creator, thank you for loving me. I give thanks that I'm right here, right now, where I can do anything. All things are possible. I am bathed in a purity of love, and this love radiates a brilliant and luminous light which permeates every cell of my body. I expect benevolence in my life. Thank you for the multitude of blessings that continuously come my way.
Dear Creator, thank you for loving me. I give thanks that I am right here, right now, where I can do anything. All things are possible. I am bathed in a purity of love, and this love radiates a brilliant and luminous light which permeates every cell of my body. I expect benevolence in my life. Thank you for the multitude of blessings that continuously come my way.
Dear Creator, thank you for loving me. I give thanks that I am right here, right now, where I can do anything. All things are possible. I am bathed in a purity of love, and this love radiates a brilliant and luminous light which permeates every cell of my body. I expect benevolence in my life. Thank you for the multitude of blessings that continuously come my way. And thank you for your participation in this affirmation process. It feels good, doesn't it? Well, at least it feels really good for me, and I hope it does for you as well.
I think personally, anytime that we connect with the energy of our soul in this way, feels good, just like Monica said, and it's great to do it together as a soul family. And I'm very pleased that we are doing it before every single program. And this month, perhaps next month, who knows, from now on for a while. Now, speaking of soul family, Monica and I want to tell you again about a soul family reunion coming up in June this year. I truly am aware, we've mentioned this several times already, but this time we want to include something special that you haven't seen before that's coming soon. However, the reason we are mentioning this again is because some of you are only just hearing about this that I'm going to talk about now for the first time. Monica and I, we used to travel all over the United States, and that's putting it mildly. I mean, it was, I think, 35 meetings a year in the U.S. alone, and then also we went to many countries as well, almost every year. We weren't home very much. But we stopped all that in 2020 for obvious reasons, and now Monica and I are committed to streaming special programs to our ever-growing online community every week.
And many of you miss those in-person conferences of Kryon. After all, we did it for 2 decades. But the good news is we still do them. We do a select few meetings each year, and I think because we only do a few, it makes them very special ones. The next special Kryon meeting is going to take place this coming June in Sedona, Arizona. And if you have never been to Sedona before, I can share my personal experience of it in one word: enchanting. It's a place known for its earth energies, and to me it feels like a wonderful warm welcome from a dear friend every time I go there. And the landscape, it is spectacular. It's the perfect backdrop to experience a Kryon event.
So we'll be offering a full 5-day conference there in Sedona with great things, and difference is this, and I want to tell you about it. Joining us are new keynote presenters who we've never featured before on our stage in Sedona ever. And right now, we want you to hear from one of those keynote speakers, so stay here with us.
So our first keynote speaker is Matt Kahn, and Matt is known as the I Love You guy. We actually had the honor of having Matt on Healing Wednesday in October 2021, and about a year later, in the summer of 2022, he was on the cover of Forbes magazine. I mean, doesn't that just show you how much humanity's consciousness is shifting? We've asked him to briefly describe what to expect from his presentation in June. So let's hear from Matt now.
Well, I think, when I speak, the words I speak are chosen by Spirit, as you know so well. And when I speak, there's a transmission of healing energy that comes through that allows every participant to experience for themselves exactly what the words are pointing to. Mm-hmm. So we can experience heart-opening elation, the spontaneous release of emotional density, revelation of greater life direction, and just a deeper spontaneous connection of knowing ourselves as spirit. And of course, everything that I teach is always the most loving path and approach to any